Hey everybody, it's Lynn Louise Wonders, and today I'm here with my friend and colleague Jackie Flynn, who owns the organization, the company called the Play Therapy Community. And she has a wonderful group on Facebook where she brings people together and inspires us and helps us to come up with all kinds of creative ways of meeting the needs of our clients. Jackie, thanks for being here today. And I wanted to get your perspective on this transition from in-person play therapy services to online telehealth, and what are you finding is most important to focus on, and what are you finding that's working? And I just wondered if you have any tips or insight you could share with everybody.
Absolutely. I want to thank you for your kind words. My goodness, thanks for saying such nice things. I have to say that when I found out we had to do these play therapy sessions online, or we get to do the play therapy sessions online, I felt a little nervous. I was like, boy, that therapeutic presence with the client, that's really at the core of what helps them. And how in the world are we going to do that online? Now, I've been doing online sessions for years, like with my couples clients and a lot of my adults that travel. But with kids, I was trying to wrap my brain around how do you do this with the little one? But there's so many great resources out there. Tammy Van Hollander, oh my gosh, I love that girl. She has like so many like practical things that you could do. I think though what I get most out of her videos is just her true presence. Like when I like push play on one of her YouTube videos, I feel her love and her connection in my body, that it's like that bottom up versus top down. And that's when it kind of clicked with me. I was having my sessions with my clients, the little ones, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm totally able to connect with them in that just deep, I care about you, you matter, I'm with you way, that bottom up, just real therapeutic presence. And I actually, even though I'm not Tammy's client, she models that and she can feel that, just like in my conversations with you, I can feel that connection. And I think we need to remember that while there's so many great play therapy techniques out there, and I actually have a free training coming up that I'm going to post on YouTube that has some really good techniques. What's more important than those techniques is the deeper level of this therapeutic relationship that can totally be nurtured online. And when our clients feel connected to us, they really can heal. They can continue that momentum of that healing process with us. And I do think, I feel like I'm rambling, but there is one thing that I am amazed that I was like, I didn't even consider this. And this kind of uncovered when I was talking to Dr. Jen Lefebvre McCall. She's one of the people that super inspires me, is that we get to be in the kids' space. I've known these kids for a while now, and online, here I am in their space. I get to see their toys. I get to see where their story lives, and they're showing me their dogs and their cats, and we're connecting on this deeper level that we wouldn't have had in person. So there are some silver lining to it. So I have to say that I am kind of loving certain aspects of it.
It's so good to hear you talk about that. And you, let me just say, you exude the same presence online. Every time I meet with you, you lean into the camera like this. I feel like, oh, we're right here together. And so I know
Yeah.
you're doing, I know you're doing that with your clients as well. Oops, sorry about that. So I wonder if one of the topics that I've been talking about a lot, and discussing with other professionals, is how important it is that we're taking care of ourselves at this time,
Yeah.
because we're going through this whole global pandemic along with our clients at the same time, which is very unusual circumstances. Do you have any tips or ideas or insights about self-care for therapists?
I do. And I do want to kind of normalize it, because I think we can kind of see these videos and be like, oh, they have it all together. It is hard. It showed up for me more in my consultation sessions with my EMDR, clinicians like that are working towards certification or just getting case consultation. I started to get teary-eyed as they would share their kind of their cases with me, and I was like, man, I never really got teary-eyed before. So I noticing being very hyper aware of, even if like it's not in the forefront of your mind that this is hard, collectively this builds up and it adds up. So I noticed that and I was like, okay, so I just cried on a consultation session and I've never even met the client and the story really touched me. And that happened the other day. What do I need to do to take care of myself? I think about that. You don't need to catch yourself on fire to keep somebody else warm, quote. So, that self care, like what you're putting out there, those meditations, I think it's not even something that's good as much as it is necessary.
Right.
We can't do the deep work that we need to do if we are shut down.
Yeah.
So I think at this point, it's not really optional. If we try to power through it and say, you know what, I don't have time to go outside. I know, like Jamie Lynn Langley puts all this stuff out about being in nature. And it is so very powerful. If we don't have time to go on a walk, or we don't have time to go kind of just step outside for a minute, then we're not doing justice for our clients. So I think that self-care is so essential. So after I noticed that, and it was like a big light bulb, like, oh my gosh, I'm not the best version of my therapist version or version of me that I could be, I started taking these long walks. And I love that bilateral stimulation of walks. I started just kind of sitting outside on the deck in my backyard and listening to the birds. I never really did that before. And I did notice that mindfulness is helping everything just kind of chill out, helping me to have higher stress resilience and just more connectivity. So that self-care, I feel like, is a must. It's not just a luxury, it's essential.
It is. It absolutely is. And thank you so much for, referencing that in terms of the simple things, stepping outside, listening to the birds,
Yeah.
just using our senses. And I know you do a lot of EMDR work combined with play therapy. And you talked about bilateral stimulation. Just real
Mhm.
quick, do you have any other things that people could do to have that bilateral stimulation other than walking that maybe they could do indoors if it's a rainy day or something?
Absolutely, yeah. There's great benefits to moving your body, just moving your body in general. But when you can activate the right side and the left side, and I love the way that just natural exercise, walking can do that. Now through EMDR, which stands for eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, we use it in a very intentional way. And when we teach our clients, we call them butterfly hugs, to where they just lightly tap. We teach them to do it very slow.
Oh,
When you can do it very slow, it has a calming effect. When we do it faster, it can rev us up. So it can actually kind of intensify things.
okay.
So doing it very slow, kind of like a little butterfly swings. With some of my adult clients that may not be open to kind of like those kid-like terms, I call it kind of like a body hug, and just tap right and left. A lot of people do that right before they go to bed. I do that sometimes, and then I wake up like
That's such a good tip.
it is so soothing.
I'm
Mhm.
so glad you said that because I was always doing this.
Yeah.
So you just got to go slow to help
Yeah.
kind of down.
Mhm.
Okay.
Now, it's important to know though, like walking fast is
Uh-huh.
actually really beneficial. So that's not the slow right left movement isn't necessarily across the board. When we're walking, and I call it power walking or speed walking, if I have something on my mind, that level of disturbance is generally lower when I get to wherever I need to go. That's if I'm thinking about it. Sometimes I do a mindful walk. I've been listening to podcasts now, but I feel like I'm feeding that all those levels of me. I'm getting that intellectual, the emotional, the physical, filling up all of those batteries that we have that need charged in ourselves.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Jackie. And I want to mention to anybody who's listening, I'm going to include a link to this incredible free training. Jackie was telling me about it. She's going to give us all of these things that we can do with our child clients. And there's no catch. It's a free training and it's awesome because Jackie is so generous. You are so generous with everything you give in your play therapy community online and on Facebook. And you participate in the other groups and we work together collaboratively. And I'm just so thankful to know you. And thank you for taking time to talk with us today. Take care
Oh,
of yourself, okay?
oh, thank you. I feel the same. Now, with that training, I have to say, and I haven't put it out there yet, but a lot of people signed up for it, like almost 1,000. So I'm getting a little
Wow.
nervous on the tech part. So I'm going to pre-record it and have some demonstration videos and stuff, and it'll be on YouTube, and I'll put the link out wherever I can. So it's definitely just to help with people that are trying to navigate this time of how do I do online play
Well, I
therapy.
think that's going to be great, Jackie, because if you have it pre-recorded with all those demonstrations of your techniques, then people can watch it at their own pace. They can watch a little bit here, a little bit there. So I think that's a great solution. And you're going to be able to reach more people and help more clients. And it's a really beautiful thing. So
Yeah,
thank you for
that's
all
the
you're
goal.
doing. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you, Lynn. Mwah.
Okay. All right. Take care.
Talk to you later.